What's going on YouTube? JT's Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. And in this video, we're going to be talking about World's Finest Teen Titans issue number 5. This one is written by Mark Waid with art by Emanuele Lupacchino, and this continues off the events of the previous one. So this is the issue where a lot of the lingering plot threads, if you will, are kind of all culminating into one thing. I mean, we've seen the tensions between the various team members, various trust issues. We've seen Roy's problems. We've seen Donna and her issues with Garth and that relationship there. And then we've had some past incidents where the Titans have faced off against various villains, including like Toy Boy in that. And this is where it all comes together, and we see the founding of the Terror Titans, and it's the Titans facing off against somebody who they tried to train, but then he kind of took things a little bit far by kind of having all this like confidential information, stealing it, so they had access to all these different things to do their sort of thing, like criminal activities, if you will. So he wanted to have this power. It's like, look at all the good we can do here. But then Robin's like, no, absolutely not. You can't do that, buddy. And then he just kind of kicks him off without even saying, like, trying to like really explain to him, like, hey, look, this is wrong. We can't do this. I understand what you're trying to do, but it just isn't a Titans thing to do. Like, I mean, Robin just straight up just snaps at this guy. I mean, he could have been a little bit better, like, in terms of handling it. Like, hey, look, I know you want to do good in that regards, but this isn't the right ways. But no, he's like, nah, take this piece of trash back to where he came from. That's basically Dick Grayson's explanation. And we do see like kind of the angry side of Dick Grayson in this thing. He's not all like sunshine and rainbows, as we'll come to find out. Like, we see the tension on display. Like, we see him snap at Wally at one point. We see like pretty much everyone at odds with each other. They basically get their asses kicked by the Terror Titans, and the artwork here is pretty good. Like, everything kind of pops right off the page, and everybody's trying to do their own things. They're acting a little bit selfish. They're not really acting like a team. There's various trust issues, and we've seen this kind of storyline with, you know, here superheroic teams in the past beforehand, but it is executed well for the most part, because we have all like the context and that kind of leading up to like the big blow up in this issue where they do lose, and then eventually they're going to have to find means to work together, and eventually, as we know, they're going to work together just fine, because obviously this is set in the past and the Titans have gone through many iterations but still remain friends. And this is also where Dick Grayson kind of takes a stand against Batman and really kind of comes into his own, and he reveals the secret identity to the team. He's like, okay, and I have a plan to beat the Terror Titans. Who's with me? So it's all sort of that stuff. This is really like the team really kind of building and forming a strong bond that would set the stage for many years to come. So it's a simple storyline. Again, it doesn't like do anything all that new or like that, but I mean, what it does well. So I mean, we've seen the tension, we've seen the build up with everything up to this point. Now the stuff with Haywire, I mean, because I think this is his first real. Well, this is the first time we're kind of seeing him in the past. He's been kind of in the shadows, in the background, if you will, throughout most of these issues. This is the first time we really kind of see what happened with him and the Titans, why he has a vendetta against them. And it does make sense to an extent. But, you know, Dick could have been a little bit nicer to him about the whole thing and try to explain him. Kind of like what went on with, like, World's Finest, where they were trying to, like, be more compassionate to, you know, David, Boy Thunder, before eventually he snapped. I thought that, like, was kind of handled a little bit well. Here, we're not given, like, too much. You have some guy who tries to steal something. He's like, absolutely not. Like, this isn't wrong. Like, instead of, like, kind of having a more of a teachable moment, he's just like, absolutely not. You get the hell out of here. Like I said, I can understand Dick's point of view, but, you know, maybe if he tried to talk to him, be a little bit more like, oh, look, I understand what you're trying to do. This isn't like the right means to go about it. And if the guy still kind of snapped in that regards, then I think it would have been handled a little bit better. But like, he's just like, no, Wally, get this asshole out of here. We don't want him. You had your trial run. You failed. Game over. So like, he's like stern, no nonsense. He's got a little bit of Batman in there. So like I said, I kind of like that aspect to an extent. So, and again, Dick is still kind of learning. He's not quite the mature, like, mentor leader that we know of him today. So this is him at a younger age, and he's really kind of taking charge. And they do put into question, like, why him of all people is the leader of the Titans. Like, why him? He doesn't have superpowers. Why? Because he's like connected to Batman. You know, they all kind of question him about that. And like I said, I like aspects like that. Sometimes like where you see teams in this have their tensions flare up, and eventually they do come together. That makes it all the more triumphant. So it's okay to have tension and fighting, like, at times. Like here, it feels kind of justified because all their other issues have kind of bubbled up to the surface. You had Roy and his issues, like when he found out, like, when Garth and Wally were kind of talking about him behind his back. Then you have Donna, who's just kind of tired of, like, Garth just kind of ignoring her. Some people are just not meant to be. So, yeah. I mean, it's stuff you've kind of seen in many superhero stories beforehand, but I feel like it's kind of necessary. to an extent to kind of help build a stronger team. So, like, as it stands, I did like it. In terms of like Titans related books going on, I mean, this is the one I like the most. So if you want a good like old school Teen Titans storyline, I think World's Finest Teen Titans has been pretty good. Again, it's not as strong as Batman, Superman, World's Finest, or even the Titan stuff within that book, but I still think for the most part it does succeed. So yeah, again, you know, standard like stuff we've seen beforehand, but it's handled well to an extent. So yep, that's all I really have to say about this particular issue. Let me know what you thought of it in the comment section down below. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content, hit bell notifications, all that fun stuff, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out, everyone.